friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Meloncita, and today I am going to be doing a kind of weekly vlog for the week of March 9th to the 15th. So if you're interested in seeing how I got through my weekly actions for the week, then keep watching. So today is actually Sunday the 15th, and I'm going to be doing my weekly reflections and setting up my weekly actions for the following week. But let me take you back to earlier in the week on Monday when I set up my weekly actions and go through my week to see how it all went. Hi friends, so today is Monday the 9th of March. I'm checking in. It's not my usual way to check in, or it is actually, I guess. But I didn't get a chance to film or record my planner, setting it up for the week, but this is for the week of March 9th to the 15th. I just set up some like sticker sheet that I found. I use those to kind of just set this up. Here are I did my weekly reflections yesterday, and I use that to create my weekly actions for this week. So here are my weekly actions for this week. I have due a week of March of 2025, and then optional weekly action to do a week 1 of January 2026, just to get started. I have to borrow the book club book, read the 2 books that I'm reading, continue with HB 90, reach out to family, reach out to some friends, work on an invite, my health ones, which is water daily and 28K steps this week. I have week 6, no spend 2 times, and then gather docs for passport. So that is what my week is looking like so far. These are the projects that I'm working on. Those are the projects I'm working on, and then this is the week so far. So these are I haven't filled this out yet, but these are the books that I'm reading, where I am supposed to be in my steps, and this is the week. So I'll fill this out throughout the week, but yeah, that's how Monday's looking. Hi friends, so today is Thursday the 12th, and I am just checking in for the week. I have my baby daughter in my lap, so we're gonna have to do this quickly. So here is Monday and Tuesday of this week in my monthly. So we did do a lot on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I actually finished a week in my memory planner, but it wasn't the week that I anticipated. But you know, I got one done at least. I did some reading. I got 2 no spends in this week so far, which is great, and we did a really long walk. So that's the monthly. Sorry, I'm just holding my phone because, like I said, my daughter is in my lap right now. And here is the weekly. So here are my weekly actions still that I need to get done. I guess I could check off that no spend because I did finish that. I'm actually working on some passport applications right now. And yeah, I'm just kind of working through this week. I'll be doing the meal plan later in the week. And this is how the week is looking like so far. I need to update these kind of trackers here. This was for, I'm restarting ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, since the announcement came for book 6 and 7, coming in October and January, I think. So just rereading it, getting a head start on it now before they're all borrowed, since I borrow from the library. Getting through the books that I'm reading right now, and just need to update my step count for the week. So yeah, not too busy of a week, but still a lot getting done. Hi friends, so today is Saturday the 14th. Happy Pi Day. So this is how my weekly actions are looking like so far. I did work on the passport stuff, did more reading. Let me just show you the monthly. So I worked on some passport stuff, and I finished the memory for week 2 of March 2025. I think I'm gonna do week 1 of March today, so hopefully I'll get that done. I did start on week 1 of January of 2026. I'm thinking of doing something with that, maybe talking through that. We'll see, I'm not sure. And then here's how my week is looking like. So here's the updated kind of tracker reading. About to finish Lights Out, getting through ACOTAR, and I updated my steps here as well. And so for Saturday and Sunday, if I hit around 4,000 steps each day, then I should hit my 28,000 step goal for the week. So yeah, that's how Saturday's looking. I still have, yeah, my daughter's with me. I still have some things I need to get done, but you know, this week is looking great. So yeah, see you on Sunday. And now we're on to Sunday. So in this part, first let me update some things on here. So this is the monthly where I put all of the weekly actions that I completed. So there are some things I want to update on here. So when I finished the book club book, well, from February, Lights Out, thought it was okay. I discovered, well, I'm not discovered, but I am not a really big romance fan, like only romance. At least this kind of, it was really smutty. It was pretty, I wouldn't say extreme. Maybe I'm like a little prude, but it was just, it was a lot. It was also kind of just like, what, for a lot of it. But anyways, I read it. It wasn't like bad, but it wasn't great. And I wouldn't really recommend it because I'm not a romance person. So, well, at least I discovered that about myself. So, yay. So I finished Lights Out. We also went on a long walk today. And I'm pretty sure I hit my step goal. So I'm going to let that dry. And I'm also going to color coordinate the rest of this. And then one thing I wanted to add was, I'll color code those in a little bit, but let me show you the week. So here are my weekly actions for the week. Let me update some of these. So doing HB90, this is boot camp is happening this week, so I'm going to be focusing on that this week. I already know that. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I drank water. Let me update that as well. I did drink water daily. I'm pretty sure. So let me see. So here's how my week went. This is like the side where I actually plan and write down the tasks that I'm going to be doing. Oh, so I'm going to put done here. And then for the steps here, so the way that I have this set up, I'm trying it new this week for steps. I'll try to explain this as best as I can, but I think I've explained before that since I borrow a lot of books from the library, I need to figure out how many pages I need to read each day in order to finish the book in time before I have to bring it back. So I have the page where I need to be, and then each day when I read, I cross off and write in where I actually was. So from there, I can determine whether I want to try to get ahead or if I need to catch up in the book. Similar setup for steps this week. So for each day, I put how many steps I needed to hit total in the week. So on the first day it's 4,000, then the next day 8,000, 12, 16, 20, 24, and then at the end of the week I should hit 28,000 steps. I kind of I didn't really set it up correctly, I guess, but it kind of worked, where each day I put how many steps it was, and then on here is the final tally at the end of the day, getting to 28,000 steps. So if my math is correct here, on Sunday, in order to hit 28,000 steps, I needed to get about 3,000 steps, 3,164 steps, something like that, in order to reach 28,000. I'm currently at 9,000 steps, so I'm way beyond the step goal. And so what I will do at the end of the day, because I want to maximize, but I know I hit my step goal for sure, is I'll write what my actual steps were in the day, and then the total steps for the week will be here. Gosh, I hope I explained that clearly enough, but long story short, I hit my step goal. So yay. So wow, a lot of stuff happened this week. Now that that's pretty much all up to date, sort of, I will do my reflections now. So I'm just going to review and look at the monthly, look at my planner, and kind of just see what I got done. So I got a lot of stuff done. I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of yellow and some oranges as well, which is great. I'm seeing some greens. Oh, I see a purple. Whoop, that should be purple. Hold on. Going into my weekly reflections now. The first question is wins this week. So definitely finishing a book, starting a book. I started Akatar in preparation for the next one's coming out in October. I'm not reading all of the series. I would love to read Throne of Glass. I'm not reading Crescent City again. I think that's the name of the series. It's just way too long. So I'm just going to stick with Akatar. Oh, step goal? Yeah, for sure. That's a win. No spend 2 times. That's definitely a win. Oh, 2 weeks in March. I think those are the wins that I'd want to highlight. So next question, what worked? Just doing the stuff, I guess. I'm going to take these off the disc because I'm running into the discs here. The things that I put for what worked, doing the things that I said I was going to, which it sounds so simple, but it's so hard for me. Well, it's not so hard, but sometimes my brain just like resists doing things. And instead I'll do something else. Like this week, what didn't I want? There was something I didn't want to do. And so instead I started working on my sewing pattern. And like printing it out, getting that ready to cut up and sew. So you might see something like that in the future. But I'm still working on it. I did get a lot done, which is great. But I just put off certain things because I think that I can do it at a different time or do it differently or better. I don't know. It's something I have to work on, I guess. Being off my phone a lot really does help. Not doom scrolling. That's part of my Lent is kind of restricting my social media, especially when I am with my daughter, and that really helped a lot. I mean, I missed a lot of kind of like stationary things because that's the main like social medias that I look at is my crafts one anyway. If you're not following me there, you can. I don't really post that often, but I am on there. So but yeah, being off of my phone helps a lot. Stacking tasks on top of each other. So kind of doing one thing while also doing something else at the same time. I mean, that makes sense. That is really limiting because a lot of the times I'm with my daughter, and so that's a major task that I have to focus on a lot. So it's not really easy for me to stack when I'm doing things with my daughter. But like during this evening time or when she's napping, maximizing what I can do in the time that I have. It sounds so simple, but in my brain it's just really hard to stick with that. What didn't work? Avoiding tasks that I didn't want to do, and then I had to wait to the last minute to get things done. Procrastinating, waiting until the last minute, not going into my planners. I don't even know what that says. But I know what I said out loud, but yeah, not going into my planner. So not having it readily open without me checking it, I guess. But lessons learned. When it's okay to, I'm going to put it's okay to start something and not finish it at the same time or like in that same sitting. Because I think that's what stops me sometimes too, is that like if I'm not like 100% committed to finish it, then I don't want to 100% start it. But I mean, C's get degrees, and so little progress here and there keeps me moving, right? Like little steps, little reading through little chapters, doing little steps at a time, really did help. And being honest with myself, I guess. I need to be honest with myself. What's another lesson? I'll have to think about that. But adjustments made. I will have to lighten the load on some of these because of boot camp this week for HB90, getting ready for Q2. So adjustments, I'm going to put boot camp and adjust. I might need to like hold off on borrowing any other books so I can finish the ones that I have right now. So ease off of reading. And I think that's pretty much it for that. So those are my weekly reflections for the week. I think it was a pretty good week. I'm just going to look at my monthly goals. Okay, so this is actually done. I did 2 weeks of that. Wow. And I didn't do monthly setups, so that's fine. I'm going to do for week 2, I did that. yeah, I mean, so far, that's it when it comes to the monthly goals. And so let me just double check here. So I did March, 2 weeks of that. Maybe I can adjust that too. Maybe I can back off on the, no, but I'm having so much fun doing it. What needs more of my attention? And the party stuff. Okay, so boot camp and party. So those are my main goals for main focuses for next week. So now is the part where I figure out what my weekly actions for the next week are. I finished that book, so I am gonna try to read this. So read Becoming. I'm still on hold for the book club book, so I can't read it just yet anyway. So I'll read that HB90 boot camp. For this, I want to do reach out to C and B. I'm going to carry both of these over because I didn't do it this week. I'm actually going to finish this tonight, I think. This will carry over, this will carry over, this will carry over, this will carry over. And then for this, let's see. Let's say appointments. And then now I got to decide for, oh, you know what I can do? Hold on, let me look at this. I guess I could finish week 1. And for this, I'm going to add video game. So I think that's what my weekly actions are going to be. So let me write those down. Okay, so here are my weekly actions for the week. I have this as an optional because I've already kind of hit my monthly goals. This is to finish January week 1 of this year in my memory planner. And that's for personal. For fun and rec, read Becoming and then play 1 video game. For work and learning, it'll be HB90 Bootcamp. Family and relationships, reach out to family, reach out to friends. And an invite send. Oh, and draft deco. So we're doing party prep, so that makes sense. That'll make sense to me. Water daily, 28K steps for health and wellness. Gotta do my week 6 for my study. 2 no spend days this week. And then schedule some appointments. 1 for the passports and then 1 for some doctors. And then I put in, this should be spaced a little bit. Let's see if it gets up. Cool. I used just some leftover stickers that I had to put in the weekly reflections for the week, because if I set it up, then I will most likely use it. And now to set up this week. So I'm reading Becoming, this, ACOTAR, and then Steps. I'm also reading another book. This will be part for the study. And then so Steps, so I'm going to try leaving this blank and then just putting 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And this is where I need to be. This will be 4K steps, 8K, so on. And I'll put how many actual steps I have here and then where I am total. And this is just for reference for me, I guess. Yeah, for the week, I am just going to leave it. I'll decorate it later, or I'll decorate it on my own time. As you can see from from this current week. Yeah, so for this week, as you can see, it's not really decorated that fully necessarily, but I am going to move it over so that my bookmark is on the current week. And that is my weekly reflections for the week and setting up for next week. So yeah, this was a good week, I think. I got a lot done. I was pretty focused on most things, and I'm just really proud of myself that I got a lot done. I finished a book. I started another book. I just got a lot of things done. Yay, go me. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and click on my face to subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you like these weekly check-ins. I think it's a lot of fun, just to kind of show just how I actually do things. But yeah,
Thank you again so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.